Mic check, 1 2 1 2. Mic check 1 2 1 2. I'm late, but I'm still great. Don't hate. Just wait for me to skate down your way with something to say. What's happening? What's good, y'all? TikTok, while it's just us, I appreciate the platform and the opportunity to use the platform to connect with like-minded individuals. With this said, I'm using this platform with positivity in the best of intent. And with that said, what's happening, what's good, peace, light, love, good vibration, good health to everybody that can see me and hear me right now. What's happening, what's good, y'all? Hey, man, we got another one, man. We got a whole new day. What's good, family? Yeah, man, we got another one, man. So you know how I like to kick it off before I say anything else. Hey, it's a brand new day, man. Ain't nobody seen it, touched it, tasted, smelt it, experienced before. And it's called the present. And it's called the present because it's a gift. And it's a gift because we owe nothing for it. We didn't have to earn it or none of that. And hey, man, this gift called the present consists of moments, right? And moments can't be measured. Yet and still, each moment of the present is always new. So I consider that a miracle. So I like to start off with what I'm doing and the motion that I'm the motion that I'm moving in, and let that be recognized that, man, I'm operating in the moment. I'm operating in a miracle right now that I'm a witness of and experiencing as we speak, so I can give testimony of what it is I'm experiencing. And hey, man, this thing called the present and these things we call days, I keep seeing, is always new. I seen the day before, I seen the present before. Yet and still, each day of the present is always new. But I got other presents and they didn't stay new the whole time, man. They got old on me. I lost them. But this gift right here, man, it's always new. I've been in the cut, man. I've been checking it out, man. What's happening? So I'm finna get into this preamble before I dig into it. Hey, man, trigger warning to the Christians, Jews, and Muslims. Trigger warning to the people that may not have begun the process of deconstructing their religious belief system. Trigger warning right here, right now. Listen, if you have not begun the process of deconstructing your belief system, this may not be a safe space for your mind. And the information that you may hear in this live may trigger you. Know here and now that it is not my intent to offend or trigger you or anyone in any such phase or fashion. And with that said, though, I need to set some boundaries about the state that we are in this life. I have no intent on seeking agreement with anyone according to their particular belief or how they see the Bible. This is Bible deconstruction. And though the title is provocative, it is serious. And the purpose of it is to get you to listen. Not for the sake of your agreement, but seeking that you may understand what it is that's about to be said to you. I'm going to tell you the truth. These are revelations, not what I figured out or read or heard. It is what was revealed to me, and I'm sharing freely, openly, to the best of my ability. I am not seeking agreement for the simple fact, no offense, I've seen what you agree with. And because I've seen what you agree with, I have no interest in seeking your agreement. Likewise, I've seen what you call right, and therein lies the problem. You, in your assumption that you have the ability to determine right or wrong for other people based on your particular belief system. So we must explain this fallacy from the beginning of its appearance. So we'll do so. I'm going to take my time and I'm going to bust this down by way of showing you and demonstrating to you that it is always now. And that your ancestors been around before recorded his story. And so we'll see what is revealed in the story. A lot of people assume that their lineage begins with the story of Adam and Eve. And for many of them, as it is currently, this is true. But we are talking about the difference between God and the Lord God in the Bible when we begin to deconstruct it. What do these titles mean? And what was created? The gist of it is we were likened unto trees and instructed to be fruitful. And instead of us, that we come from a family tree. Every kind of tree bears the fruit that it is made to bear, or it doesn't. But trees don't have to be instructed to be right or wrong, but to be fruitful. Because that's the intent, that's the purpose of planting the seed for fruit. It's already right because you know what you planted. So as long as it grow, what you planted is right. So you don't have to tell the apple tree not to grow oranges. You dig what I'm saying? It's gonna grow what it's intended to grow. And we are likened unto trees and instructed to be fruitful. And we speak of this book in terms of a kingdom. And we always go comic book land when we speak of it. But there is a reason why it is described as a kingdom. And the reason is the concept of law. And energy is governed. There are laws that govern energy. Yet it is said of energy that it cannot be created or destroyed. Yet it operates according, as of our experience currently, objectively, according to laws. I asked before, is consciousness energy? Yeah, it is. Energy cannot be created or destroyed, only transferred. And we are saying that energy, since it cannot be created or destroyed, has always been, will always be. Thus, energy has always manifested itself through and as matter. That's where you get the term mater, which later led to the term mother, because energy is inside of matter. This is how energy manifests into what we call the physical realm. Well, the energy is considered male and the manifestation of matter is considered female. I'm going somewhere, but I gotta walk you down a little bit as if this is your first time. Because I want to show you that the flesh of a tree is its fruit. The fruit is the flesh of the tree. And I want to tell you about the tree that you ate from. That once you ate from this tree, you thought you had the ability to determine good from evil. Once you ate from this tree, you began to be ashamed of yourself and to seek covering. And anytime you ingest something or learn something that causes you to see yourself and be ashamed of what you see, may not have been the tree you should have eaten from. but we'll take our time. It's a picture on the wall, and I said that the flesh is the fruit of the tree, and the fruit of the tree is the flesh of it, the part that you eat. And symbolically, eating is teaching or being taught something. So we dealing with a tree, family tree, and that contain the knowledge of the fruit of good and evil. Now, before this narrative, there's another narrative about an angel. An angel mean messenger, by the way. I don't want to spook nothing out. We talking about a energy. Let me back up. If energy cannot be created or destroyed, and it has always manifested itself in and through matter, always, then the highest manifestation of this energy through matter is us. And when we say we've always been here, I mean we've always been here. Because energy, consciousness is a type of energy, a form of energy, and we talking eternal, infinite, no beginning, no end. And it has always manifested through and as matter. Matter of fact, we haven't even discovered all the ways that energy manifests itself yet, in the type of matter or antimatter that it shows up in. But it's always inside of her when it shows up. So symbolically, we say the Father manifests as a pregnant woman that he put himself inside of. So the energy inside of matter is what we're talking about. As we look at it and we get this understanding, man, we knew who and what we are, because the word of title, God, one must know who I am. I said to wear the title, God, one must know who I am. So Exodus, man, chapter 7, verse 1, man, let me give you some Bible so y'all don't think I'm just sitting in front of y'all talking. Don't get mad at me because you call it Friday, Freya's Day, Frigga's Day, and you don't know these people. That ain't fruit from your tree, but that's who you give veneration to. But if I give veneration to my ancestors, then I'm wrong. But you call it Friday, don't you know why? I said, I don't know them people. Yet you venerate them people mindlessly, but if I intentionally remember my ancestors, I'm a pagan. Upside down, backwards, where. So let's look at the title God and who get to wear the title God in your Bible. So we can quit falling out and just losing our mind when we hear the title. When I tell you that when they say God, they talking about your ancestors, baby. That's what they hiding from. It's just a title. We'll bust it down what it mean if we need to. But it's people in the comment section that can bust it down for you. But hey, man, we just gonna help you understand that it's just a title. Don't lose your mind over capital letters. Please don't do it. It's just a capital G. It won't bite you. It won't hurt you. You don't got to believe in it, fall out behind it. It's just a capital letter. But let's check it out. Exodus chapter 7, verse 1. Then the Lord. I got to stop there and explain this term, this title. I have to. Because these are revelations. No scholar, no preacher is going to give you this. And you can either accept it or not. But I'm finna tell you about this Lord in all capital letters and what it means. I have to pause. I'm coming back to Exodus 7:1, but I gotta bust it down right now. Listen. See, every time you see Lord in all capital letters, it is replacing what they call the name of God, or the God of Israel. And he told them his name was I am that I am, or I am for short. And it is spelled in what's called the tetragrammaton. And that means the 4 letters. They add an A and an E to it and say that it is pronounced Yahweh, but it is not. It's spelled the way it's spelled on purpose, because our people have always had a way with words. We love rapping and rhyming and wordplay and double entendres. And hey, man, we can see really far. Let's show you how deep our wordplay go with this poetry. So when you bust it down, YHWH, and you don't add nothing to it, and you understand what it means, it is pronounced you. This is why it means I am. Not only is it pronounced you, it's the sacred you, the you that you do not speak. You know, when you pray and you say, Most High Father, Mother, God, Source, whatever, or you just might say, thank you. But it's a you saying in your mind. It's the sacred you, the Most High you. And it mean I am. So every time you see the word Lord in our capital letters, it's actually pronounced you. And it means I am. The sacred you, though, not the you say. The you through which you experience eternal life, your soul. That you. That's the you that take the supplications and the prayers back and forth. Because the one that was supposed to do it, as you will read in the book of Revelation, he took the golden censer and he threw it down. And what he threw down were the prayers and the supplications of the saints, right? Well, inside those supplications was supplications for decisions in determining right from wrong. And they petitioned to the king, for the judgment between whatever. And this messenger, this angel, was responsible for presenting or taking these supplications to the king, to God, to mama and daddy, to the parents, to the father, well, however you want to determine it. But this was this messenger, this angel's job. But he took it and threw it down. I told you, inside, in the smoke of it, represented the prayers and supplication. What he threw down in it contained the request for determination of right and wrong from the Most High. Supplications. And this, it got thrown down, and it show up in a tree, as a tree that contains something that's not meant for, the other trees, this tree that it have. The knowledge of good and evil is, you still to this day in 2024 cannot determine it for yourself. It's a reason why you can't. And I'm not making this up. This is your failed relationships and your failed diets and friendships and jobs and careers is evidence of your inability to determine good from evil or right from wrong for yourself. But what I'm revealing to you is it was never meant for you to worry yourself with this. But you got it from a tree. And when you got a hold of the fruit of this tree, you looked at yourself like you was ashamed of what you saw and needed to be covered. But we'll take our time. It's always now, right? Look at the picture. I said you ate fruit from a strange tree. That ain't your family tree. It don't look like nothing come off your family tree. But you ate from it, and once you did, you ashamed of yourself. You've been a sinner ever since, ain't you? We'll take our time. Like you know what good and evil is. Bless your heart. You can't even pick the right outfit, but you can pick the right God based on capital letter. Bless your yeah, man. So when you understand that this is a title that you should not have ever lost your mind behind or started worshiping, you know what I'm saying? Uh, let's help you. Exodus 7:1. Then the I am said to he who was drawn from water. Moses mean he who was drawn from water, because I'm trying to read this to you in English, in the now. Because you know, is it not the present? Well, we talking to he who was drawn from water. We're talking about he who was drawn from water and what happens. Not what happened, what happens. It's happening. Then the I am said to he who was drawn from water to Moses, see, I have made you like God to Pharaoh, and your brother Aaron will be your prophet. Why does Moses get to wear the title God? Because Moses know who I am. Remember? Aaron mean bright or very high. Listen, man, Egypt, Mizraim mean a fortified place or a prison. The children are held captive. The prison is confusion, Babylon, because you don't know who you are. Tell me when I start lying. What is this blasphemous teaching? Oh yeah, we breaking the spell of Jesus and it off up in here is what we doing. What's your name? Let me see. He who informs himself. Yeah, we only ask that if you don't agree, be mature enough to not feel like because you don't agree, no one else should hear what's being said. That's all. We gave a trigger warning before we began. So what we're trying to show the people is that it's always now. Tell me when I start lying. I know you don't agree with what I'm saying. That's why I made the title so provocative. But the question is not whether or not you agree. The question is whether or not I'm lying. So tell me when I start saying something that's not true. I'm explaining to the people why it is Moses gets to wear the title God as he's being instructed. See, I have made you like God to Pharaoh, and your brother Aaron will be your prophet. And I'm explaining to the people biblically why Moses gets to wear the title God. So you got to go back to Exodus chapter 3. Still in Exodus. And we'll walk you down and show you this is why this is Bible deconstruction. And it's cool that you asked the question. So this is the teaching that you call blasphemous. I'm just getting it out your book. So Moses, Exodus chapter 3, verse 13 is where we'll start. Moses said to God, suppose I go to the Israelites and say to them, the God of your fathers has sent me to you, and they ask me, what is his name? Then what shall I tell them? God said to Moses, I am who I am. This is what you are to say to the Israelites. I am has sent me to you. What I was explaining to the people that's listening, he who informs himself, that after that, they replaced the term I am with the term Lord in all capital letters. And I was explaining to them why. But as far as the tetragrammaton is concerned, you know how the Christians add an A and an E in order to pronounce it. But that's because they don't understand it was never meant to be pronounced. It's the sacred you. This is why it means I am. This is why every time you pray, no matter what title or name you give to the being you pray to, you call it you. And you are called you. And it's no coincidence that it means I am. So God said to Moses, I am who I am. And tell him I am sent you. I am is the meaning of the tetragrammaton. But it's actually pronounced you, and it's not a coincidence. This is not blasphemy. This is revelation. I know you want to add an A in an E or whatever because you think it's supposed to be pronounced like, no. It has a meaning beyond that. It's called sacred. It's the difference between the sacred and the profane. That's why they replaced it with Adonai or Lord, so as not to profane it. We just explaining why and where it come from. But I understand. So this is why though, hold on. Moses is at a bush and it's burning. He at the burning bush, right? You remember we told to be fruitful. And we got a tree of life that we dealing with too. Yeah, it's a tree. Yeah, it's a family line that contains the knowledge of the fruit of good and evil. But it's also a tree that's life. So your family tree, your family line, your lineage, that's your lifeline, your family tree, that's you. And that's the tree you're supposed to eat from, because that's the tree where you learn who or what you are. You learn who I am at the family tree. The family tree is lit like a Christmas tree. The family tree is lit. Hey, man, all your knowledge, wisdom, and understanding come from it. So Moses had to leave Pharaoh and go out into the wilderness back to his family tree. And the fruit that he got at the tree was the knowledge of I am. He learned who he was. But you look at the picture on there. Do that look like us? When you ate the fruit from that tree, you became a sinner and ashamed of yourself. When you before then, you weren't looking at yourself. But after that, when you got in there and you got this teaching and you learned, you started looking at yourself like, hey man, you need salvation. You need covering. Fig leaves have a meaning. You should look it up. Did you not know that fig leaf, the meaning of fig leaves is man-made religions and beliefs? Has to do with prophecy and prophets, trying to cover yourself with it. But this tree that you ate from contains some that's not for you because it's not you, it's beyond your ability to discern. But once you ate from it, not only did you start seeing yourself different, like you needed some covering, you thought that you could determine right or wrong for everybody else because you ate from this tree. They told you it was something wrong with you. You're a sinner. And once you ate from this tree, ever since then, you thought you could tell everybody else right or wrong based on what you believe in or agree with. You in my comment section now typing. Talking about what you call right or wrong, based on what you agree with. You think you have the authority and the ability based on this tree, this fruit that you see that picture hanging on that wall. It's always now. In this garden of pleasure, eating mean pleasure, that you've been put into work by your master. Who gave you? Who introduced you? Because I can't make you eat it, but I can make it look good. It's going to turn your belly sour, but I can make it taste sweet. This fruit from this tree, what is it? I'm just talking about the beginning of your book, and that is always now. Because remember, Adam mean man, and he's in his sleep state. Because this is after the seventh day. And 7 is symbolic of completion. I'm going to have to get in the numbers, man. I got a whole, I really wanted to take y'all on the numbers mission today, but we might go there. Yeah, appreciate everybody liking, but this for the people that been rocking with me, man. If you understand something, Exodus7:1, that's where we at. Showing the people why Moses get to wear the title God. He who was drawn from water get to be called God. But you can't wear the title God unless you know who I am. And you get to learn who I am at the burn the bush. I mean the family tree where you get the fruit, where you learn who I am at the bush. Don't get mad at me because you got the comic book version of it. You think somebody was standing in front of a damn bush that looked like it was burning but wasn't being consumed. And that's what you think the story is about. That's on your pastor. That don't got nothing to do with what's in this book. That have to do with what you believe in. Belief in a lie don't mean it's true. You see that picture on the wall right there? That's the fabrication. You can't be taught a lie. You really think you can actually be taught a lie based on a lie? Look at the pitch. Say, you know what them pictures? Hey, man, let me show you something. Let me show you something. Let me show you. No, because you all in my comment section typing, man. All in here typing, man. Act like I'm not, like I'm just in here making this stuff up, man. Listen to me, man. I got this King James Bible in my hand. Hey, man, I woke up in 2011. King James Bible was published in 1611, man. 400 years on the dot, Jack. Yeah, I woke up in 2011. 400 years on the dot. Ugh. You know what I'm saying? Let me show you something, man. Let me show you what I got out this book. Listen, look at this here. I got this out the King James Bible. So it is said of the King James Bible that scholars compiled it. It is said of the Bible that scholars compiled it. So this is how the scholars represented the narrative. See, I've seen what you call right. I've seen what you call right. That's why what I'm sitting here saying and sharing with my people is not based on what you or anybody call right according to their belief. Because I got this picture out the Bible, man. I've seen what you call right. Look at this picture. Look at it. Look at it. Yeah, I got it out the Bible from the scholars and the translators. Yeah, man, that's how they represented the narrative. Now you mad at me because I'm not backing up the cartoon version of it. You dig? Now I'm not no Hebrew Israelite, man. I'm telling you how my ancestors, what you call God in the Bible, that's my ancestors. That's what the Bible is revealing. That's what's been hidden. That's what I'm talking about. I'm showing through the Bible, in the Bible, that God is a title. And he who gets to wear the title is he who knows who I am, according to the Bible. That's how Moses got the title. He learned who I am first. And then he was like God, and Aaron, his brother, was his prophet. He said, I'm going to make you a god to Pharaoh, the king of Egypt, prison, Mizraim. Or not the children held captive in Babylon right now, in confusion, don't know. Do we know who we are or not? So that means we held in confusion, right? Okay, so I'm here telling the people, hey, man, we God, we the gods, we Elohim, that's us. It's hard for my people to believe it, but it's easier for people to believe that picture on the wall is God. So I say we got to break the spell of Jesus' entity. We got to break that spell and show them that this is the tree that you eat, the fruit of the knowledge of good and evil, this institution, this belief system in its entirety from the beginning, that is that fruit. And you didn't get it from your family tree. Look at the picture. I said in the beginning of this live, it's a difference between God, Elohim, your mother and father, your parents, and the Lord God. Because Lord, when it's capital L and lowercase letters, it means master. And with the Lord, you have a master-slave relationship. With God, you have a father, mother-child relationship, parent-child relationship. It's different. It hit different. That's why the narratives are different. The storyline is different and just different. It hit different. That's why the narratives are different. The storyline is different. And yeah, say somebody that got triggered. So this is the first time, but trigger warning one more time. Trigger warning for the people that feel like because they don't agree with something, nobody else should hear it. Trigger warning for the people that believe because they don't agree with something, it should not be heard. Hey, man, if you don't agree with the information, the revelations being shared during the course of this live, you can keep scrolling. But if you are ready to continue, man, with the deconstruction, what's happening, I'm just busting down this title. A lot of people are see, when we say you under spell, y'all, listen. God is a spell. You have to spell it. It was spelled, and matter of fact, not only was it spelled, baby, it was spelled for you, on you. Nobody spelled this for you, on you, taught it to you, that you should bow to it, pray to it. They taught you that this title, especially when it's spelled with a capital G, even though when one is speaking, you can't see capital or lowercase g's. Nevertheless, they taught you when you see the term title God with a capital G, there is nothing above that title. This is a lie. This is the first lie that you was taught. So we have to start by breaking the beginning of the spell that was cast on you. For you to think and believe with your whole heart and all your might that there is nothing above a title or a spell that you've been given. This is the beginning of breaking the spell. You have to get past the spell. Because when you hear, this is what a spell is. It is a phrase or utterance or a word that I can say that will cause you to suspend your critical thinking. Presented in such a way that an illusion will be true to you. That will make you accept something to be false, make it seem real. Because of the way it's presented. Look at the picture on the wall. Look who present the image and the concept. That's an authority figure to the boy. And to her, the picture on the wall is an authority figure. What is he being taught? We have to address it. We can't act like it's not, it's still being done. It ain't like it's stopped. It's still happening. Right now on this app. But it's shocking to people when I say, hey, your ancestors is who the Bible actually is calling God. These are your ancestors. The sons of God is the first generation. See, let's bust it all the way down. I say, he who gets to wear the title God is he who knows who I am. Let's start there. Let's take our time. In the creation narrative, everything is done in the light. And light is knowledge, wisdom, and understanding of what? Of the kingdom, the eternal kingdom, who I am. Everything is done in light of that. Nowhere in the book or in the narratives does it say that nothing was done in the dark. Before what you call time, because the first 3 days of creation cannot be measured in time. It's nothing to measure time with. Nowhere in the narrative does it say that nothing was going on in the dark. It's not mentioned. In the evening, in the morning is the day. The night is not mentioned for a reason. It's identified and named on the first day, and it's not spoken of again until the fourth. Doesn't mean nothing happened in the dark. A lot happened in the dark. People was procreating, making and shaking and getting pregnant and impregnating, because it's always now. And it was people that was pregnant and getting pregnant that didn't know who they was, who I am. Ain't it people impregnated and then getting pregnant don't know? So that means you're doing it in the dark, huh? But according to the grace, we not counting what's done in the dark. Once you step in the light, by grace, it's a clean slate, new beginning, newborn. Yeah, we'll get to that. But we never said nothing was going on in the dark, and it's always now. Ain't there stuff going on in the dark? Because when we talk about darkness, we wasn't talking about the sun or the moon, remember? We hadn't got to that yet. That's on the fourth day. Y'all following? These ages, these generations. So the first generation, they get the direct knowledge from God. He who know who I am, the first of the people in your family line that came out of just getting pregnant and impregnating and knew who they were, knew what they were, and began to intentionally create. Gather their family and teach them who and what they were. The first of your family line that know who I am. Because this is the one that planted the seed that established the tree. Nothing spooky. We've always been here. Energy is, was, and will always be. We're talking about an eternal kingdom, right? The beginning of the lies where we breaking, revealing the lie. We'll take our time. What I'm trying to get through to you is The reason why these religious people run around trying to tell somebody that they right and the other person is wrong is because they never understood the beginning of the book. That as a human being, you've been given authority, dominion, and rule over you and yours. Any other type of authority, dominion, or rule you may exercise must be by way of agreement. But Melchizedek lets you know by the meaning of the name Melech Zedek, King of Righteousness, that there is the determiner of right or wrong. That you don't got nothing to do with. The King of Righteousness, Melchizedek, that means law. Melchizedek represent God in the narrative. And that's who he come with. That's why he come with the bread and the wine. That's the teacher and the truth. And the wine in spirit. Because, you know, those that worship must worship in spirit and in truth. It's how we represent the family line. A kingdom, a king is a royal lineage. It's a family. Melchizedek's family is not traced in the book because in the beginning, when God let us make man in our likeness and in our image, and it's them that's blessed, their lineage is not spoken of. The Bible only traces the lineage of the one you call Adam. They trace his lineage because he's the creation of the Lord God, as your book says. The people that God made were made by us and were made in the likeness and image of us. I testify to you here and now that it was us that made me, that's my mother and father, and I am in their likeness and image. I also testify to you that I bear witness to the birth of my son. He too is in the likeness and image of me and his mother. And I also understand that when we're dealing with a kingdom, one is born into it or conquered by it. So it fit like the narrative about us making man in our likeness and image, and then the will of dominion and rule being given to the children, to man. Just like mama and daddy give you their will, they name you, tell you what they want you to do and how they want you to be, because they can establish that that's God to you. It is also the reason why they don't give you a name to call them. These are the signs that's mentioned in the creation narrative, because these are the lights that you read the signs by. Not the stars, because he said he made the stars also. The stars are in the sky. The lights are in the firmament. It's a lot that a lot of people don't catch because they get the cartoon version. This ain't the cartoon version. So don't get mad at me because you believe with your whole heart and all your might in the cartoon version and you don't want nobody else to hear nothing else. We ask that you keep scrolling and respect our boundaries, because there's people in here that's getting it and want to get some more. So excuse yourself if that's all right with you, and just keep right on pushing and we'll be all right in here. Yeah, man, what's happening? Peace, light, and love. So we breaking the spell of Jesus' entity by showing the people that their picture hanging on the wall is symbolic of the fruit that is hanging from the tree with the knowledge of good and evil. That's it. That's the fruit that you ate, that when you ate from it, you started looking at yourself like you was ashamed of yourself and needed to be covered. Fig leaves represent man-made religions and beliefs. Ooh, because Adam, who's made by the Lord, let's bust him down. So we see the man in Genesis chapter 1 is born in the likeness. We all born. Are you not in the likeness and image of your parents? And how did you get here? Were you formed by the dust of the ground and somebody blew into you? Or did you come out of the womb? Hey, man, that's how I got here too, man. Well, Adam, that ain't how he got here. See, because he was made by the Lord God, Adam was made like this. He was formed from the dust of the ground. When he was formed from the dust of the ground, and before the breath of life was blown into him, Adam was a corpse. This happened after the seventh day. What happened on the seventh day? Rest. Who's at rest? What's at rest? The ancestors, the knowledge, wisdom, and understanding of the ancestors. Where is it now? When it's at rest. It's in what you call your root chakra. That's why I said it's red. The devil. In your sleep state, when the sun set, when the light, see, the first generation are the messengers. You got mama and daddy, that's God. Then you got their children. That's the first generation. And who is God? Who were the title? You got to know who I am. So mama and daddy know who I am. They children become the messengers of the kingdom. Because that's what mama and daddy are now establishing. That's what they now become because they know who and what I am. Everybody else around them just running around getting pregnant and impregnating in the dark. So when he say, let there be light, it's the light cut on from within you, not on the outside. When you wake up and the first thing you look around and see is darkness. Don't nobody know who, but okay, let's take. So that's the children, because we just not going to spookify it. I know you rather spookify it, but we just not going to keep doing it. So the children are the messengers, the angels, sons of God, angels. That's the first generation they get the direct knowledge from mama and daddy of who I am. Because we building the family tree from the foundation of a kingdom. Because, that's the foundation. The family is the foundation from the kingdom. And it's the family line that realize that the family line is sacred and divine because of who I am. Now, their children, the sons, their children are what you would call the Lord's. And up under them, the next generation, up under them, the Lord's rule over man. During the course of these generations, man, the knowledge, wisdom, and understanding that was passed on from mom and daddy to the direct line get a little bit more diluted and a little bit more diluted each generation. Until the generation or the children completely forget who they are. What the symbols meant, that when it was passed on from generation to generation. We forgot why we wanted to stay virgins, didn't we? We forgot. We forgot we were immortal and that we were remaining virgins because we were making sure we planted our seed in fertile ground because we knew the portal that we came back through. And we didn't just want to plant no seed on top of seed on top of seed. Because we know what immortality looked like. Death, burial, and resurrection. But we forgot why. We forgot. We thought it had to do with a religious belief. because it became to be symbolized after the generations forgot they were immortal. And this is how our immortality manifests. Just put your seed on top of another seed anywhere. Don't just let somebody put their seed in you. They don't know who they are. You don't know who you are. We forgot. But we left signs everywhere. The virgin show up. Every time wisdom show up, she pregnant. The virgin married. Yeah, the young virgin. Why were we always talking about a virgin? Because we knew how to plant our seed in fertile ground that no other seed had been planted in. Because she knew who she was and wasn't finna just let anybody plant no seed in her. Because her immortality show up through the seed that's planted in her, that grow from her soul, her womb. That's them that's being produced. But you have to understand how to see you beyond this. Because this is what holds you captive in Egypt or Mizraim or prison, whereby you've been confused in Babylon. Who do you believe is Lord God, Yaqub and Leah? So we talking people. And all right, so the book say it was a war in the kingdom, right? Before all this happened. And the war happened between who? The sons of God. Right? And so they separated. Can't stay in the kingdom because the kingdom is one of peace. That's how we rocking. This our culture. So you gotta go. Talking about a kingdom, right? An eternal kingdom that always was, is, and always will be. What'd he do when he said, when he got kicked out? What he said he was gonna do? Say the enemy sold his seed among the good seed. If we are told to be fruitful and multiply by our parents, the King, God, Elohim, the mighty ones, then you got these other ones that come, call themselves Lord God, and they got some commandments for you. They represent another kingdom. These lords, these masters that got the little book with them that tell you that you wrong and think once you eat of it, you get to tell other people that they wrong. Yeah, they pull up on you, man. Call themselves Lord. We talking people, man. Did they not pull up on you and call you their master? Call themselves your master? Did they not? Did they teach you something that made you look at yourself like you needed salvation from them? Did they? Did you eat from that tree and start being ashamed of yourself and thinking you need to cover yourself in fig leaves, but nobody ever taught you what fig leaves mean symbolically? Or the fruit from the tree, because that's the flesh. He told you, eat my flesh. You ate that fruit, and then you said there was something wrong with yourself. Told you stay away from it. But it was enticing. Put it in all in your face, kept it in your face, and it was desired because you know you was in your sleep state. You remember? You were made from a corpse. Welcome to the land of the dead, by the way. What's happening? Adam is made from a corpse, and then the breath of life is blown into him. That's not how the Elohim, the mighty one, that's not how their creation went. Our creation started with light. Soul. You know light means soul, right? So we got soul. We still, like, we can testify. We one with the soul, Jack. Subconscious, like, we don't even have to, like, hey, man, it just is what it is about us. I'm telling you, we always been here. I'm telling you who God is. I'm telling you why we got soul. You don't have to believe it. You can believe the picture on the wall if you want to. You keep believing it. It may be easier for you. Yeah, man. Say, you remember when we was in school, right? Everybody, some people was in remedial courses, some people was in regular courses, some people was in AP courses, but we were not all in the same class. But if you was in AP courses, you was expected not only to have the intellect, but emotional maturity to be in that class. And if you felt like at any time because you didn't understand something, you get to start disrupting the class, you would get put out. And that's how we have to, you know what I'm saying? We have to move with this in this space. Because there's people that feel like because they don't agree with something, they get to start disrupting. And I'm aware that these are the type of people, this just ain't the class that you're supposed to be in. For real. So let's keep going. This tree that you ate from, man, that I'm trying to get you to understand, because it's always now that you got in your sleep state. So we start with soul. This is how creation start. I knew you before you were formed in your mother's womb. Your creation start with soul. When we talk about the beginning, we talking about the beginning of a spell, of a lie that was put up on you. The creation narrative is describing something to you that was hidden from you about the inner meaning. When it said in the beginning. So I gotta constantly remind you that we talking about something that's being created from an eternal perspective. Ain't no beginning. So what is beginning? That's what you gotta get through your head. We're talking about an eternal kingdom, always is, was, and will be. What is beginning? Because whatever it is, it has an end. So we talk about the Alpha and Omega in ignorance, not understanding that it has a beginning Alpha and an end Omega. Eternal, though, ain't no beginning, ain't no end. So what we talking about is something false. The lie. The spell. They put it in your face because they know who you are. They've been knowing who you are. Everything that they are doing to you, they got your approval. They got you to say, yeah, okay, you can enslave me. They got you to approve it with the little book. See, when you read about slavery in the Bible, you called it good. Remember? When you read about genocide in the Bible, you called it good because it was done in the name of the Lord. You didn't know who the Lord was. But it mean when you don't understand what it means, like how I just broke down the you and I am, without understanding, Lord to you mean master. So look it up in the definition. Without the understanding given, it's going to say master, as it should. Masters are masters because they have slaves. So Adam, who was from a corpse, an animated corpse, a corpse operating, corporation, who was constructed by a legal fiction is given commandments. He's commanded. He's taken, put in the garden to work it, and commanded by the Lord. Now, Adam got the breath in him, but it don't say nothing about Adam having no light in him. Remember, he made from the dirt. All he got was the ruach, the spirit, breath. Spirit mean breath. So he got the spirit, but he ain't got no soul. Because he don't have no knowledge, wisdom, and understanding. Because he got it from the Lord God. And Lord God, he a generation below the sons. So his game is watered down. Because the direct line, the children got the game from God. The sons, the messenger, that's why they are called messengers of the kingdom. Because they got it direct from mama and daddy about who I am. And then they children, the next generation under them is the lords that rule over the men for the sake of the kingdom. But one Lord, he take his little watered down game and want to present himself like he the master. So you got to go. Go be you a master wherever you trying to go. Figure out you can be, or whoever let you be a master over them. So only people he can find that he can be a master over is people that don't know who they are. That's the dead. The people that's in the dark. Because, after so many generations, he got the best game around now. They don't know who they is. And what he got was watered down in the beginning anyway. His story. I'm putting it plain for you so we can stop spookifying it. About Adam. Because you say you come from Adam. I didn't. I said I came from God, the mighty one, Elohim. Let us make man. I'm in the likeness and image of my mom and daddy. That's what I said I came. You said you came from Adam. I didn't never say that about myself. But you didn't know what it meant. So Adam mean man. And we talking about man in his state where he's forgotten who he is. He's dead. This after the seventh day. At rest. He's at rest. Knowledge, wisdom, and we talking about the body. We talking about his understanding of who and what he is. That's when the Lord pulled up on him. And breathed his spirit and, man, taught him something. But what he taught him was watered down and intended to enslave him. Lord, he presented himself as his Lord. So he commanded him. So it say God instructed, hey, he blessed them, then said to them, it don't say nothing about no command. God left a will. Your mom and dad leave you a will, right? So instructions are given. And in nowhere in the instructions that's given, or does it say what not to do? Nowhere. All the instructions given are in the positive. Not so with the Lord. He ain't got the same understanding. He's an imposter. You're dealing with some imposters that's presenting themselves. Now remember how I said it's pronounced. I'm gonna say it one more time. You're dealing with some imposters that's presenting themselves as you. But they not you. They imitating you and what they got from you. Remember how I said it's pronounced and what it means? Moses come back to the people. Hey, who is this God? What's his name? Moses say, you. I'm gonna just stare at the screen. Don't get mad at me because it mean I am. and you rather believe in the fabrication and spook it out comic book land. I'm telling you, talking about energy that can't be created, manifesting itself as matter in its highest form as us. We always been here. This is our knowledge, wisdom, and understanding, how we pass it on. You're dealing with some thieves that didn't understand what we was talking about and presented it to you, demonstrated their ignorance of it loudly and openly with that image on the wall. That's how you know they didn't know what they had, because it wasn't there, it didn't come from them. It's a lie. The fruit from the tree, the flesh is the fruit of the tree. Is that picture a lie or not? Is it a fabrication of the flesh of someone? The flesh is the fruit of the tree. Now, that's a lie. Now, once you got a hold of this lie, how did you look at yourself? Who told you it was something wrong with you? Or who told you was naked? What tree you been eating from? Psalm 45, verse 7. Let's go. Psalm 45, verse 7. Because you forgot. I'm talking to my people, man, my niggas. N-E-G-U-S. You see the crown in the profile. Don't get mad at me because you don't know what it means and choose to take offense before you find and choose to take understanding. This one for my niggas, though, man. Psalm 45 and 7, man. You love righteousness and hate wickedness. Therefore, God, talking to you. See, hold on. The Psalm, we love that wordplay. We love that wordplay. And the Psalms is for David, from David, for David, to David, dedicated to David. David means the beloved. And that's you. By way of your soul, your eternal soul, that's how it's demonstrated that you are the beloved, is that your soul is eternal. The light in you, by which you experience your immortality. Unless you trying to give it away to somebody or some character, I don't know. Somebody might have tricked you out of it, told you you owe your soul or some character, something was wrong with you. I don't know. We'll just help you remember how your father saw you, how your mother saw you. One more time with Psalm 45 and 7 for the diaspora, man. You love righteousness and hate wickedness. I know, baby. Therefore, God, your God, has set you above your companions by anointing you with the oil of joy. See, you got soul, right? That's your anointing. That's what you anointed with. And soul is light, and light is knowledge, wisdom, and understanding of who I am. That you are ancient, immortal. That your family line, your family tree existed long before his story. And that's why he spent so much time and effort and energy lying to you about who you are. Trying to hide your lineage and your heritage. So much time and effort and energy lying to you about who you are. Trying to hide your lineage and your heritage. Mic check, 1 2 1 2, y'all. Hey, listen, moderators, y'all please watch for these trolls because they trying hard. So let me reissue my trigger warning. Let's reissue my trigger warning and plead my case. Let me plead my case for my right to say what I'm saying here in this space. And it's similar to the character Jesus saying, "He who is without sin, let him cast the first stone." And I'm talking about the tree of the fruit of the knowledge of good and evil. And the results of it are, once you ate it, not only did you start looking at yourself crazy, you started to think you could determine good and evil, right or wrong, for other people based on this fruit that you ate. And I'm trying to get through to you that at this level, as a human being, as a man or woman, that is not our role here. First and foremost, our role is we establish truth by separating what's false from what's true before you get to right or wrong, because this is the order of things that keep you from calling something right that may not be true. If you establish first what is true. So, the trigger warning is for those who believe that because of their belief, they get to determine right or wrong for other people and place themselves in the role of my God, who I call my ancestors, who exist as the knowledge, wisdom, and understanding passed on to me through my DNA. That's where I go to the Most High to determine for me right or wrong. And I have a right to do so. I get to go inside and search within myself when I want to know the Most High. That's the Most High point, within myself. So that's where I go, to the Most High point when I want to know right from wrong. I go to the Most High. I get to do that. You might go to that picture on the wall or to the cross or to the church or to the book to determine right or wrong for you. And that's your right to do so. But the trigger warning is so that once you hear me say something that you don't agree with, you are prepared to continue scrolling. Yeah, because you're going to have different points of view, especially your belief system may be called into question. I'm not calling you into question. I don't know you personally. But so many people get so triggered and so offended at information they don't agree with. And it's childish. It demonstrates a lack of understanding, a lack of willingness to understand views outside of what you agree with. But yeah. Just keep your eyes open, y'all, for the people that's in here. They get triggered and want to just So where we at, y'all? Breaking the spell of Jesus' entity. Don't get mad at me because you under the spell. I didn't give you that spell. Your pastor or your preacher did. He dressed it up, made it like a comic book story, and it seemed good to you. Desire to make one wise. And when you ate of it, your eyes was open to the point that you thought you could look at other people and tell them what's right or wrong about them. And hey, man, if they didn't agree with what you call right or wrong based on this fruit you ate, that they deserve, according to you and your belief, eternal punishment because of the book that you believe in, the fruit that you ate from. Look at the picture on the wall. There it is. And when it's explained, I have to explain it like this to make the saying true. It's always now. This is happening now. But you have to be in your sleep state for it to happen to you. You got to be dead. A corpse. You got the spirit in you, but no light. Know knowledge, wisdom, and understanding of who you are. Ain't that how it got done to you? By who? Your Lord, your master. Why you think they keep trying to cut my live off? Who you think it is trying to cut this live off? I bet you it's the same people that gave you that image on here and told you that it was God. To tell you you can't call your ancestors God, but if you don't call their ancestors God, you gonna go to hell and burn forever and ever. That's what with a straight face. Still spreading it in 2024 here you talking about. And you mad at me. And you mad at me. Medusa, they mad at me. You know what I'm saying? Hey, man, I didn't teach you that mess. I didn't teach you Jesus was your God. I didn't teach you Jesus was your Savior. Why you mad at me like I taught you that? I'm telling you the truth. If you look like me, you see that picture on the wall, man, what that represent is the fruit from the tree of the knowledge of good and evil. That's a tree that you ate from that made you think you could determine good from evil. But the truth is, you can't even pick good from bad food to eat in your own life. That's just the truth, which is an example or a sign to you that there's something that's above your pay grade, as they say, that you should leave that to something higher and on your level deal with true or false. But you have been given the authority and dominion and rule over yourself and yours. You know, your children, your land, your animals. But as far as the next person or the next family, y'all would have to agree to give one or the other authority for that to be so. Like, can't nobody pull up on the next person by right and say, you wrong for nothing unless I agree to give you that authority. So if you come and try to tell me I'm wrong because of your little book, then that means you and your little book are trying to usurp my authority. And you or your little book don't have it. But once you ate from the little book, you thought you did. And ever since you have, you've been running around here telling people what's right and wrong based on your belief in the little book. So we showing you that what the angel threw down in Revelation, when they say the angel had the golden censer, the messenger, he threw it down. Then the supplications was in the golden censer. Well, the supplication is the saints asking the Most High to judge right and wrong for them. See, that was supposed to go up. Because that's part of the praise and prayers and stuff. That's how the Most High is prayed when you bring it to, and you be like, yeah, most ancestors, show me the right. Yeah, that's how you praise. But when you think you can go tell somebody right and wrong, then you throwing it down. But you started doing it. That's why it's contained in the tree that it's contained in. Because it's for that tree. It's for that family line. That's what they are all about. That's why you wasn't supposed to, they family line gonna make you forget. You eat from that tree, man, you might end up forgetting who you are and falling into a deeper sleep. You feel what I'm saying? And forget who you are like completely and want nobody be able to wake you up and tell you, hey, God, remember you God, right? It's just a title. Don't worry. Don't panic. It's just a title. So that's why we showed you Exodus chapter 7, verse 1. To show you why Moses get the title God. And then we show you Psalm45 verse 7, because the anointing of the oil, this is the light. This is what you got sold, the oil of gladness above your brothers. See, here in Israel, some of us got sold, and some of us don't. Talking about God, though. That's why God, your God, has anointed you. Talking about the beloved now. The anointed one. Well, how many of you is it then? Well, tell me how many of you it is. You might not like it, but you've heard some don't ever want to hear. Yeah, all we doing is Christians need to understand to respect boundaries, that other people have a right to not agree with them. We have a right to not see things according to, no character or cartoon. Like, we get to do that. We get to gather among ourselves and fellowship and make moves and plot and plan, but they still not understanding that it's the result of eating from that tree that make them so judgmental, that make them think that they can't judge. Like, you have no understanding of what's going on when you come in here in these spaces like that. But they try, bless their heart. But are the people understanding what's being said here today about breaking the spell of Jesus' anity? What she's showing the boy is, imagine in your mind Eve eating from the tree and giving some to Adam. Eve is taken from Adam in his sleep state. Adam mean man. It's not saying that people didn't exist. It's showing you something. It's a deeper narrative. Adam mean man. What does man consist of? Men and women. But they are men and women who are dead. They are asleep. They don't know who they are, because the Lord put them in a deep sleep. What you mean? They erase your family tree, your family line. You don't know your lineage. They done it on purpose. Who done it? The Lord, your slave master did it. Why? Because if you don't know who you are, you consider sleep. Put him in a deep sleep. And from in that state, he got his wife. What is wife symbolic of? Wisdom. That's what he got from his sleep state. He's already at a point where he's in his fallen state, far as the knowledge, wisdom, and understanding that came from his family line. Yeah, it's all the way diluted by the time he get to his line. And then he come across somebody with some that's perverted. I'm talking about put him in a deep sleep. Because what he got from these people made him forget who he was even more. Look at the picture, man. What did they teach you about yourself? I came up in the 80s, man. I bear witness and testify. My nigga, what did they teach you about yourself? Well, who taught it to you? And when they wanted to show you somebody good or somebody great, who or what did they show you? Look at the picture on the wall. It's always now. So what happened in the garden? Eve represents the wisdom of man that he got in and from his sleep state. And in that state, looked at a tree that looked good to the eyes and was desired to make one wise. In a garden that they were put in by the Lord. And Eden means pleasure. And what's the purpose with the tree? It looked really good, and it's desired to make one wise. Adam man in his state where they are, they can't see the tree of life because the tree of life is their family tree and it's been erased. It's there. It's in the garden, but they can't see it. And the Lord gonna block the way from it. Cause the tree of life, that's your family tree. That's the burning bush Moses pulled back up on, figured out who I am, got the title God. It won't take you too fast today. No, you ready to move and shake on Freya's day. In homage of Freya. If you didn't know. I'm just talking about your family tree is really God, and you might want to learn who your great-great-granddaddy is on your mama's side and your daddy's side one day. If you can't, then you might be needing to break the generational curse with either you when you procreate or your children. Make sure they know who and what they are, because when they pass on they seed, my nigga, they passing on you. That's how you gonna come back through. When you come back through, you coming through your family tree. Apple tree don't make nothing but apple. That's all they gonna make. They don't have to be told not to make oranges. They're gonna always make apples. They're not worried about being right or wrong. They just got to be true and make apples. I don't know who pulled up on you and told you you was wrong and it was something wrong with you and you needed fixing. You might have got that fruit from a tree that's like not your family tree, that's a foreign, strange tree that was presented to you by someone or something you call Lord or Master. I don't know. Maybe that's how you thought something was wrong with you. And then on top of that, forgot who you are. I'm just showing you in the book where how it happened, how it's happening, how it happens. See, once you figure out who you are, you're gonna have a kid, you're gonna teach your kid, you're gonna show them stuff, you're gonna have ways of communication within your family, and y'all gonna hold it down, y'all gonna put it down, and y'all gonna establish yourself in the land because y'all moving as a unit. Everybody know what it is. But what about the third or the fourth generation? What about the sixth or the seventh generation? Are they going to remember the teachings and the purpose of the traditions? Will they still value them after they forget what they really mean? I mean, hey man, do we have to stay in comic book land with this stuff? Knowledge get passed down, knowledge get forgotten. Somebody pick it up, think they done figured out something and use it to put something down with on their head. But what they got, they didn't have no understanding of because it didn't come from them. They could translate it. They can put it in a writing. You got plenty of scholars that speak plenty of languages and put this stuff in all kind of languages and spell, but you have to know where it came. It has to have come from you to understand it, the culture of it, the codes in it. And what I'm telling you is your family tree is so thorough that they put the codes in our DNA. We the only ones that can unlock it like this. Hey man, yeah, it's coming from nigga. Scholars can't unlock it. They can spell it. They can try to pronounce it, add an E or A to it, but they can't decode it. That's how you got that image. It's a representation of their inability to decode the information. It's a revelation of who and what they are. You know the tree by his fruit. But now is the time of revelation, and it's hard for it's. I've been putting this out here for 13 years. Hey man, we got the nonprofit P Vision. That's my little sister. May she rest in peace. Her name was Portia, but the P and P Vision stand for Panoramic Visions. Our nonprofit, me, Medusa, it's other people that may be in the comments in the chat. It's called People. People empowering other people lifts everyone. So I'm working with P Vision, my little bro. He got fifth house cuts because he cut hair. And every time you go fifth house cuts, you hit him up. Some of the proceeds in his fee go towards the nonprofit. So yeah, man, this is re-educating our people on who we are. This is the foundation. This is where we begin. So that once you really understand who and what you are, we can take the next step. I reminded my siblings this morning of the importance. See, we talking about, let's just talk plain for a second. We'll get back to the book. Think about the first people in your family line, the people that you came from, whether you know who they are or not. Think about the first ones that really understood their immortality and how it manifests from observation. Think about how ancient we are. Think about that we existed before time, before history. We were here, observing, recording, passing on information and understanding. Whether intentionally or not, it was still being done. But somewhere along the line, out of the darkness, out of the people that were just impregnating and getting pregnant like animals, somebody woke up and saw something and realized who and what they were. And when they began to wake up and see who they were, they intentionally passed on their knowledge, wisdom, and understanding to their family, to their children, to their mama, to their daddies, sisters, and brothers, because they saw immortality in the family. Somewhere along the line, somebody seen an uncle come back, a grandmama come back with the same characteristics. Just like I saw that tree come back. Just like I saw that season come back. I saw my great grandmama come back. That's her. Think about it. And they thinking and they seeing everything in rotation, everything cycling, and now they seeing uncles and cousins and grannies come back through. Oh, we like that too. If you live long enough, you'll see a whole lot in your family line. You'll see a whole lot of people come through your family line. But the ones that woke up and realized this, I pass on my immortality through my seed, through my DNA. When I show back up, I'm showing back up through a woman. I get pregnant, my son get pregnant, so on and so forth. Because this is how I observe it happen. So I'm going to do it on purpose. I'm going to intentionally do it. The ones that do this first are the first one to maintain a family unit. Now think about what's going on. You got people that's just doing their thing, kind of loose. And then you got this group over here, groups of people that's intentionally maintaining their family and moving together as a unit. Hey, y'all, we sacred, we immortal. We gotta make sure when we put our seed, make sure we put our seed like this so we can come back through. Right in position. So we ain't just putting our seed anywhere, man. We want to put our seed from observation because we so ancient. The best way to come through is through a virgin. Best place to plant your seed is in a virgin. You should be a virgin also as a male to be the tip top most to pass this. I'm talking about pass this goal on. You gotta have been mastered and controlled yourself and took that energy and maintained it and fed off of it your whole life, knowing that you passing on not only you, but the family line. See, we was deep with it. This is why they called us gods, mighty ones. It's why we ruled for so long. Till we forgot. Till we got caught up in this. And thought that this was all it was. But I don't want to take you too fast. Let's go back. The first in your family line to realize this, or who you would call, or what you would call God, or what was called God. Because these are the first ones to dominate the people that was in the dark around them. Because they just loose. You know how we move now. We just loose. But the people that keep their family line intact, they rule over you today. I say it's always now. Well, the first in your family line to move like this was what made your family become sacred and divine, which made it a kingdom. Because of the way that they saw the family. It made it divine because you knew of your immortality yourself through your family. You intentionally passing this stuff on. I mean, you not wasting no seeds or nothing. Learning everything you can, experiencing everything you can, knowing what you passing on. And then teaching and raising the child with this knowledge of their immortality. Knowing who your child is when they come back through. Knowing who it is that's coming back through your child, because this is another reason why what made us maintain the family unit in the first place. Hey man, watch me come back through. When I come back through, wake me up. Bet I got you. Let me stop. So yeah, we forgot though. Immortality. What do you think eternity look like? I always tell people to come out of spookland with this stuff. Eternity look like cycles. That's why the first number is 0, a circle. Eternity look like cycles, what we call seasons. That's how we experience the cycles. That's how eternity manifests itself, as a circle. Cycles. Sunrise, sunset, winter, spring, summer, fall, death, burial, and resurrection. Apple gotta fall from the tree into the womb, then come back out the ground. Death, burial, cycles. You was wearing the same clothes last year, making the same posts about the same people that you ain't gonna talk to no more, that you gonna talk to again. Yeah, cycles. Nurse Kim say I miss it. Yeah, miss. I just posted like two fresh ones on the YouTube. And now I post this one too. These are revelations. Today is good, bro. Wisely spoken. Appreciate you. Appreciate you. I can go over this over and over. Yeah, that's why 0 is the first number and all this stuff, this good stuff. Jesus-anity is a spell. It's the belief in a character. It's the belief in the divinity of a character that's outside of yourself. And you got this belief from strangers, people that didn't come from your family tree. The story of Moses tell you that you have to go back to your family tree to come out from under Pharaoh. See, I have made you a god to Pharaoh. That's why God, your God, has anointed you, telling you who you are. They hid it. They do not want you to know that that's your title. It really is. And there's people that's listening to it that know it is, that don't want you to know it. Because they've invested such energy and belief in this title that they worship the title. God, the title, is an object of worship for so many people. And for that to be applied to a nigga, to niggas, is offensive to people. But it's our title. It belongs to us. It's ours. It's our inheritance. Don't get mad at me because you got a belief in the title that you associate have a connotation with, and you believe it's something spooky and not just a title. That's why I'm showing you Exodus chapter 7, verse 1. That's why I'm showing it to you in your book. It's just a title. Don't get mad at me because they capitalize the G and now you lose your mind every time you hear it. But hey, man, look, what else we got? What else we got? The nonprofit, August 25th, if you in the D or you in the Metroplex and you know about what went down at the village, August 25th, we gonna be at the river for a celebration. So, yeah. If you know, you know. Anybody got questions? Anybody got comments? Let me look at some of these question comments on here. Because I must have said something that triggered. You might not like it. Let me see. You send a kill. Some people just want some type of hope. Some people just want some type of hope. And I get it. The issue is that they got hope in a character, a fabrication, when you were lied to about your own lineage and the people that you come from. All the way, just think about if you were raised with the knowledge and awareness that it is your ancestors were called God. That the world saw your ancestors as what they call God. How would you be, the way you see yourself would be completely different as a so-called black person in this country. Because we are taught, I grew up in the 80s, man. I started school, I knew how to read and write before I started school, but I still went to school in the 80s. And man, I experienced racism immediately as a kindergartner. So if you experience racism as a coming up in the 80s, in the 90s, going to school, and then they giving you this image of God, of your Lord and Savior, and telling you, if you don't believe it, that you will be punished for all eternity. And they begin to teach you this as a child. Look at the picture. Come on now. How you gonna see yourself? Really? Subconsciously, this is why it's so hard to deconstruct the book, because the deconstruction got to come from us, and we already trained to distrust us, but you can't get it from no other source, because we talking about the kingdom that's within me, the kingdom that's within you, the soul, the light. How you gonna get the understanding of the kingdom from those that don't have no soul? That characters don't have souls, babe. I'm sorry. It don't. Soul is light. Ain't no light in no character. It's light in the kingdom, though. That's in you. Everything in you come from your family tree. It come from that's in you. Everything in you come from your family tree. It come from why y'all let these people be on these lives, on these apps all day and talk about absolute bullshit. And nobody take the stuff down or nothing, nobody try. But boy, if I go to holler nigga, I can say nigga, man. Listen, man. I can say nigga. I shared a post. If you follow me, I shared a post. They got a sound on this app. Oh man, it's disgusting. You ought to hear it. But they got it on it. But I'm talking listen, okay, NEG, I'm gonna give you some history for those that take offense before they take understanding. I know you used to taking offense before you take understanding. Let me teach you something right fast. NEGUS mean kings. You can see it evident in my profile picture. I'm in my grandfather's room in one of my grandfather's hats, doing what my grandfather used to do. NEGUS mean king. Ethiopia mean, because it's an Ethiopian king in particular. Ethiopia means one who appears on fire, or fiery one. Just like Aaron means bright or very high. Fiery eyes. All this is associated with the name Ethiopia. Has to do with being lit on fire, one who appears to be lit. Catch it if you can. So we speak in terms of meaning. So it's prophetic that all this time when you was calling us niggas, you was calling us kings, and you would call us niggas when you got mad because we wouldn't bow to you. Because niggas is king, sovereign. That's why we wouldn't bow. It's prophetic. It's poetic justice. Everything you set up based on them lies is crumbling in the same word or term that was a byword. We're going to turn it around and let you know who you are. Don't get mad at me because I know who I am and what words mean, and you just know what words feel like to you. Hey, man. Yeah, you ain't no getting, what I'm trying to show you is it's always now, and there's no getting around who and what we are. For some of us say I ain't nigga, I'm African American, I'm black. Well, this for my niggas. Somebody gotta represent and show up for the niggas. It was outright for Jesus to just show up for the lost sheep of Israel. Why I can't just show up for my niggas? I don't understand. You ain't one of them. All right, man. Well, okay, excuse me. But this is who I'm talking about, because this who got fed this madness. And it's people that's choosing to take offense before they take understanding. And they just need to find another space for their mind. This ain't a safe space for your mind. This ain't for you to dictate who should hear it because you take offense. It's the tree you ate from that make you think you get to determine right from wrong. Listen, man, when you place yourself to determine right from wrong for somebody that ain't gave you that authority, you placing yourself in a position of that person's God that is reserved for their God. Because that's who determine right or wrong for me. Not your book, not your belief. But you think because you ate from this tree, you get to determine right or wrong for other people. And this has caused so much conflict and confusion upon the earth. It's time for it to be judged for what it is, a lie, and done away with. Because the problem is you don't understand that prayer and praise and the supplication of the saints is the saints being humble like saints are, and making supplication to their God, their most high, to determine and judge for them what right or wrong is. Till you get your punk ass in the way and think you get to do it based on capital letters. You don't. Yeah, I know you believe in capital letters with your whole heart and all your might, but they don't give you the authority to determine right or wrong for people or assign eternal punishment because they don't agree with you. You're gonna have to stop that. You know what I'm saying? Stop it. Yeah, man, cause so it's caused so much confusion and conflict up on the earth because we have people that think they get to determine for other people what right or wrong is because they ate fruit from a tree. You got it from a family line. It's a family line. The tree represents a family line that you got this knowledge from. It's a group of people. Look at the picture. It's a family line. You got a tree of life. That's your family tree. That's the tree of life that you've been hidden from, barred from. Then you got this other family line that you got this other knowledge from that once you got it made you think it was something wrong with you and it was something wrong with everybody else and you got to tell them what was wrong. You figured out for yourself. Now at one tree, you figure out who you are, what you are, and your immortality and who you came back through as and who came back. Yeah, you see your immortality, who I am, and you remember yourself. But the other tree, man, you gonna end up shame of yourself, think you need covering, forget who your family line is. You might end up worshiping somebody look nothing like your family tree, like the picture on the wall. You might get mad at people that come wake people up and tell them that that's the fruit of the tree that the book was talking about. You thought it was a cartoon. You forgot it was always now. The choice is always before you. Now, what tree you gonna eat from? All right. I guess you thought it was gonna happen one day in the future, but you don't even know what outfit to wear. How you, who can't even determine the right outfit, can determine the right time? How? Have you not yet humbled yourself and accepted there are things beyond you? Like determining right and wrong for other people? You can't even pick the right food to eat for lunch? But you can pick right or wrong and determine eternal punishment. You who can't even pick the right pair of shoes. Them shoes hurt your feet. You can't pick the right shoes. You see what you cause? Look around. Look at it. Say sin once it reaches full measure can no longer be hidden. Look what you cause. Look at it. You don't think you're going to be held accountable for it? For the lies? Constant lie. Look at that picture and look at this well-intended woman teaching her son what she think is desired to make one wise and look good. Look at the fruit. She feeding it. The flesh of the tree is its fruit. Look at the flesh. See, that's the fabrication. So what that mean is that that's lie. That's a lie, right? It's the image and picture of a lie. And you got fed a lie. You got fed a lie. Teaching them a whole complete lie. With her whole heart and all her might, with tears in her eye. Here you mean. Because you thought you knew what right was. You would not humble yourself and admit, I can't pick the right relationship. If it ain't my God, my ancestors, source, show me what's right, I don't know what it is. I can't even pick the right food to eat. Man, I got to take blood pressure and diabetes pill. Man, I need a kidney. I'm sitting here taking blood pressure medication, overweight, underweight, can't maintain my weight, don't know what the right clothes to wear, but I know the right God you need to be praying to and worshiping or else. I can tell you that that's good and that's evil right there for you. I can't pick no good or evil in my relationship. I've been through a few, had some divorces, man. These women just, yeah, but as far as you though, see, you going to hell if you don't accept Jesus. I can't pick nothing else right or wrong. But according to this story I believe in capital letters, I can tell you who you need to give your soul to. With a straight face. When you get to the part about the talking snake, it get hilarious. Because they not going to explain to you what it means. They going to tell you it's a talking snake. And you going to hell if you don't believe it was a talking snake. Here you mean. Have you ever seen a talking snake? How about, have you ever seen a person form from the dust of the ground in life? Have you ever seen a person come to be like that? You think that's a literal story? You think that's what a miracle is? I just explained to you the present moment that we are currently in. And even though we've experienced moments and days before, yet and still, each moment and each day is always new. That's a miracle. And we in it. So that means we witnessing. Now you gonna tell me you gonna overlook this and put a report of a talking snake and call that a miracle? You overlook what you witnessing and experiencing right now. Not acknowledge the miraculousness of it, but read a report of a translation of a story. That's a miracle. The talking snake. I'm gonna just look at the screen. You know what miracles are, huh? We just established that you barely know the right shoes to pick. Told you they hurt your feet. You still but you know what a miracle is, though. You don't. You probably don't even know what a day is. according to this your own book. But you know who going to hell and who ain't, based on capital letters in the book full of spells that have symbols hidden inside the spells that your pastor never told you the meaning of the symbols. He told you these were characters. So when somebody come tell you the meaning of the symbols, and that ain't what your pastor told you, you think because you ate the fruit of the tree, you can call us wrong. But we not calling you wrong. We saying what you believe is not true. You say God the Father, God the Son. We say, what about the mother and the daughter? You say, ain't no mother and the daughter. We say that's not true. That's not true. You can't have a father. Did you not know that it's a mother that make a man a father? It's a woman. A pregnant woman is what made him a father. You can't have a father or a son without a mother. So if you saying you got a father and a son, but no mother, we saying that's not true. We have objective reality to dispute the claim. Everybody listening to me came through a mother. Everybody. Nobody said nothing about wrong, because in humility, it's the Most High that's going to judge right for wrong for us through our reality and our experience. What you experience is going to show you whether or not you being fruitful or not. The instructions are not only be fruitful, but to multiply, not divide. But, hey, man, we just going to take our time, because I know you used to commandments. You used to being told what not to do, because you got your instructions, your commandments from the Lord, and He instruct in the negative. Why? Because the Most High instruct in the positive, and you dealing with something. One is positive, the other is negative. One is light, the other is darkness. You're catching it a little bit. Don't you have a shadow? Ain't your shadow with you everywhere you go? But you got a dimension you can move in that your shadow cannot. So your shadow can go up and down, back and forth. But you can go up and down, back and forth, and in and out. So you're on a higher dimension than your shadow can ever be. Because he can't move in the dimension you can. He's just an imitation. Catch it if you can. As a child, I often asked these questions, and all I got was, I'm not supposed to question God. Yeah, they put the spell on you. They might have shook their voice when they said it, God. And yeah, they put a little bit of spook on it and scared you to death, bless your heart. But nah, it just means your ancestors. Read Exodus chapter 7, verse 1. Just look at it. I'm teaching you why Moses got the title. Because Moses know who I am. It's the only way you get the title. So I say the first people in your family line that know who I am, that's God. And they pass on their knowledge, wisdom, and understanding through DNA. And they knew that at the right time, in the right season, in the right condition, it would bloom and come forth in you. The ancestors are back. The knowledge, wisdom, and understanding, the soul, the light is back. It's here. It never leaves. It's us that forget, become blind to it. It descend into the root chakra, and all our knowledge, wisdom, and understanding is based on the current physical state. and not the immortal one. Because we forgotten about it. We became unaware of our immortality and how it manifests. The family tree, the burning bush. The tree, the bush where you go learn I am at. Because Moses didn't know I am until he went to the burning bush, unless you think it was a tree that was on fire, and we got to keep playing patty cake and go to comic book land. The man was at his family tree, man. That's the fruit he got from the tree. I can't say it enough. I am. That's what he get at the tree. What was? What he come back with from the tree, from the bush? Oh, okay. And so here we are. That's chapter 3. So by the time chapter 3, he get who I am at the family tree. He come back. Yeah, Pharaoh, you talking about you, God. I'm God. I know who I am now. And the people say, well, what's the name of this God? He say, you. What you mean? I am. Oh, okay. And I move in 6 directions. I'm a star. I'm a light. I'm a soul that move in 6 directions. You 6-point star. Back, forth, up, down, in, out. That's 6 points. I move in. I shed light in all 6 of them. We just talking about God, man, breaking the spell of Jesus. And now you see, man, I want to talk about numbers, man. I really be wanting to show y'all. Can I show y'all something about these numbers right quick? Do we got time, man? Can I show y'all something that the story is told through these numbers? And I'm going to just take out. This for the people that been with me. 0 through 9 is 10 numbers. We know this. 0 through 9 is 10 numbers. All right? Now, with this understanding that 9 is the 10th number, when we express the number 10, 1 is the 11th number. 0 is the 12th number. All right? Then 1 is the 13th number. Then 1, because that's 11, is the 14th number. Then 1, the first part of 12, is the 15th number. Then 2 is the 16th number. 1 is the 17th number. Where I'm at. Four is the hold on. I'm getting off. I'm finna show you something. I gotta count it up on my hand. Let me get it right though. Hold on, y'all. Alright. So 1 is the 11th number. 0 is the 12th number. We talking about 10. Then 1 is the 13th number. 1 is the 14th number. That's 11. 1 is the 15th number. 2 is the 16th number. That's 12. 1 is the 17th number. 3 is the 18th number. That's 18. That's 13. 1 is the 19th number. 4 is the 20th number. That's 14. If you count both numbers, follow if you can. 14 is the 20th number if you count each number. 1, 0, 1, 1, 1, 2. 14 is the 20th number. 7 is the symbol for completion. 1, 0, 10 is one cycle. You start at 0. 9 is the 10th number. 1, 0 is one cycle. 14 is the 20th number if you count 1 apiece, because 7 represent completion It's the 20th number because it's 2 cycles. Because we talking generations. It's a sequence in there where you get 3 ones. 11, 1 is 11, and then 1, that's 12. These 3. When you start at the beginning of these numbers, man, 0, 1, 2. 0 is the first number and represent oneness, and is expressed as 1. And 2 is 1 and 1. That's on a whole nother tangent, man. That's a whole nother tangent, but I was just sitting here. No, yeah, you if you would have to count each number after 9 as a number. Like, you know how you would say 10 is one number? Well, you would say 10 is 1, that's 11. 0, that's 12. Because 9 is 10 numbers. 0 through 9 is 10. So when you get to 10, that's 11. The first one is 11. Then the 0 is 12. Then the next one is 13. And the next one is 14. The next one is 15. Then the 2 is 16. 1 is 17. 3 is 18. 1 is 19. 4 is 20. Yeah, that's just an exercise that show you like that you can see this stuff in everything. If you understand that 7 is not an amount, but symbolic of completion. That's why it show up as 2 cycles. But yeah, it's on the whole nother. Isn't 9 the most important or powerful? 9 is the birth. But see, are you talking about the number 9, or are you talking about the 9th number? Because what you would call 8 is the 9th number. 8 is symbolic of infinity. So infinity is expressed as 9, birth or rebirth. It has nothing to do with an amount. It has to do with a meaning. The only one counting is the imposters. They gave you the 7-headed beast because they was counting, not us. That's why it's falling. But yeah, man, I know I took y'all all around the world like, man, what is this nigga over here talking about with these numbers? You got to be a geek, man, to be into it on that level. But I'm saying everything around you points to your immortality. How nature operated, everything operate, it points to you being immortal. And you being called into remembrance because there's somebody actively working to keep you from knowing what you are. When I get on here and I share revelation, like, you got to actively listen, because the purpose of it is to raise the collective consciousness by bringing you into remembrance of who you are. Already. But anybody got any questions, any comments, man? I know I just been on there talking for a minute, but I just really want to stress what this picture means. What's being shown? This Eve getting the fruit from the tree and giving it to Adam. That's what you're looking at. And if you need me to explain it, I'll explain it. But that's exactly what you're looking at. Symbolically. Let me make it like symbolic. That's the fruit, though. That image right there. That's the tree you ate from, made you think you knew the difference between good and evil. Because ever since you ate from that tree, you been telling everybody else they going to hell. Ever since you ate from it. Say, we've been in trouble ever since you ate from that tree, man. Come back to your family tree. Your family ain't going to tell you you're wrong. is that you owe your souls. Your family ain't gonna do that to you. Go back to your family line, man. If you can't figure out who they are, establish one. In spirit and in truth, knowing who and what you are. Start one. Adopt one. Hey, y'all, non-profits is real. Non-profits are the people who do the work that your politicians and preachers campaign to get elected to do, but don't never get around to doing. Non-profits do the work in the community as far as educating, feeding, clothing, that a lot of your local politicians and preachers should be doing, but don't. And we do it without public or state or federal funding. We do it out of our pockets, we do it out of our time, we do it out of our energy. If you asking yourself, what should we do? What can I do? Volunteer with your non-profits that's about what it is or whatever it is you about. Volunteer or donate to people that you know are operating non-profits. Because that's who on the ground doing the work without the recognition, without the photo op, without the funding. Whether that's who do the work regardless of who get elected, regardless of who in the pulpit, regardless of the spiritual belief, that's who do the work. So remember that if you don't remember nothing else. Peace to all the gods and goddesses. May positive energy flow through you all in love. And with that said, man, that sentiment, I'm going to get up out of here. Peace to the gods and the goddesses, kings, queens, and the saints in the diaspora. Peace, light, and love, y'all.